What do you expect to accomplish in the bye week here, and how quickly can your quarterback get up to speed and, in turn, have the relationships with the receivers kind of develop?
Well, I think the first thing we got to do is get this team healthy and make sure that our bruises, the nicks that we have, are getting healthy. The next thing we have to do, obviously, is get our quarterback up to speed. As you mentioned, the chemistry between the quarterback, offensive team, even defensive team, I think is very important because they need to see him as one of the leaders on the team. Obviously, we threw him in a game. I threw him in a game last week, put him in a tough situation. He battled as hard as he could without a lot of information. So now it's about the process of getting information to him, having him lead the offense, having the defensive players see him.
You ready to put on for your city? Because it's your city today. Huh? Let's do it. You want the keys to the city? Yeah. Play ball. You want them? You know how to get it? It's called winning. You hear me, McClay?
Hugh, 2 years ago, I don't know how many people in Raider Nation actually knew who Hugh Jackson was. Now you can argue that you're the face of this franchise. With Al Davis gone, somebody's making the decisions, and I know Mark is there, I know Amy is there, but it's really Hugh Jackson in charge of personnel. Well, how much pressure comes along with that, knowing the guy that you have basically taken over for?
Well, there's tremendous pressure in the sense of this is still Coach's organization, and you want to stay committed to excellence, and you want to do it in his thought process, which is winning. He's about winning championships and winning every game, and that's pressure I feel. I don't feel the pressure as far as being the GM per se or the face of the franchise, because we have such a good team of people here, and you mentioned two of them, Mark Davis and Amy Trask. I think the whole organization has supported me wholeheartedly. We're a 4-3 football team right now. We're right in the thick of this thing in the AFC West. What we need to do is just keep winning football games, and that's what I focus on more than anything.
One of the things I love, the debate talk, right, after a game, a win or a loss, either it's good or it's bad, and people say, would have Al Davis have made that deal for Carson Palmer? What do you think?
I think he would, because I think Al truly believes in winning. And I think what you have to do, I think this league is about quarterbacks, and you have to have a really good quarterback on your football team. Obviously, Jason got injured, and Jason's probably 5, 6, 7, when nobody knows exactly when he's going to get back. So if you have a chance to strengthen your team to give yourself still the best opportunity to win, I truly believe that Coach would have did that.
As soon as it went man, it's a bad play. Just throw it away.
Jason said that he had heard that through the media. Is that true?
No, that's not. I laughed about that because me and him talking. Matter of fact, we talked about it this morning, because what happened, he had surgery, and I called him several times. As a matter of fact, his fiance called me back, said he couldn't talk. Now, I don't know if she gave him the message or if he was able to check his phone, but I called him several times. But he was under, I think, some painkillers and was asleep at the time when all this happened. And he goes, oh, you know what, Coach? You're right. You did call several times. So I think that's where the miscommunication was.
So that's a good clarification, because obviously the quarterback doesn't want to hear it from you.
I would never do that. I'm not that kind of person. I wanted to make sure he knew what was going on, but he could not talk at that time.
Where's Jason's mindset right now?
He wants to get healthy. That's the #1 thing he talks about, just trying to get healthy as fast as he can to see if he can get back out on the field.
He understood what you guys were doing, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think Jason, he understands that's the business. This is football.
I have to ask you about your relationship with the media, because you are probably our #1 soundbite that we use every week from your Monday news conference.
Okay.
You come up with some good one-liners.
You're a quarterback out there, you want to come play for the Raiders, give us a call. Hopefully we can take the mustard and the relish and the onions and all that and put it away. I haven't slept. The meal was horrible. Irish coffee and you know, a little water and something else. There's this inner guy inside of me. His name is Hubert.
What is your relationship with the media? Where does your personality come from? Because that's an important part of the job. Some coaches can be standoffish, but some coaches use the relationship to their advantage.
Well, I'm gonna say I hope I use it to my advantage, and I hope they think I'm genuine and that I am who I am. I'm not gonna change. You know, my personality is my personality. I don't get too high or too low. The media doesn't bother me. I've seen things that have been written and said, but I don't play into that. What I'm most worried about is this football team, the organization, our fans truly understand what we're trying to be here and trying to do here. I do have great respect for what the media has to do. I know they're selling papers and they're gonna write what they need to write. I don't always agree with it all, but that's okay. I understand, just like I hope they understand I have a job to do, which is protecting this team, protecting this organization, and trying to be the best we can be.
I have to tell you one story, because I do the sports on Channel 5, but I was so sure that you were going to start Carson Palmer that I said on the air, if Carson Palmer doesn't start, I'm going to do the weather on Monday, and Roberto Gonzalez, our weather person, is going to do the sports. So I want to thank you for getting me started in my weather career. I actually did weather.
Hey, that's awesome. Well, it's amazing. It's amazing of all the talk about that decision, because I'd never once said that I was playing Carson. Here's a young man that's been on the couch for several months, out of football, no training camp, no nothing. I think there's maybe some other positions you can come in and play right away, but playing quarterback is hard in this league, and I never once said I was going to do that. And everybody's got all these reports about, well, who's starting, who's not starting. I don't have to say. Our team knew who was going to start, and to this day, I told them they don't need to say nothing, and I think that's what our players stuck to, but they knew.
Right.
They knew exactly where we were headed, and that's what we did, and I know I take a lot of heat for that, but that's okay. That's part of it.
Listen, I know you're busy. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Hugh, I want to thank you for getting my weather career started.
Hey, I love it.
Even though it only lasted one show.
You got it.
Hugh Jackson of the Raiders, and we'll be back after this.